This is my third garment that I've made, and like I said in my last video, if I can do it, you can do it. So let's get into the vlog. Let's do a little recap. The first thing I made was a detachable ruffled collar. So Fun by Tilly and the Buns. Second thing was the Cocoa Shorts by... This week I'm going to make the Cocoa Shorts again, but I'm going to make it in sweatshirt material. I found the prettiest pink, so I'm going to show you my fabric. It's a little bit ribbed. It's very thick. Anyway, I'm excited about this. I have these pair of sweatshorts that I have worn and worn and worn. They're so comfortable for whatever reason, and they're not as much of a commitment as like a pair of sweatpants, right? So yeah, I'm going to show you the shorts that are so beloved, but I need to say goodbye to them. So this is an attempt to replace them, and I figured I like the Cocoa Short pattern. I'm going to use it again using what I learned from the project last time. And you know what we're going to call the project last time? We're going to call it a toile. So the like I'm like holding this up weirdly. The like garment you make before you make the garment. Project 2 is a toile for project 3. Which is this one, but I need pink thread and I need to wash and dry this, which is convenient because my little space here is also the washer and dryer. It's all in one unit, by the way, which is new to me, very European. It takes a while, so we're gonna get that started so that it's ready to go when I'm ready for it. And then I need thread and a ballpoint needle for my machine, and I need to set my machine up. So stay tuned and welcome to project 3. Okay, it's the next day and my fabric is washed. I am ironing it. It's like this massive piece of fabric. I got thread and a jersey needle, the needle you need for sweatshirt material. I picked up like the cutest pink thread. It's perfect. Okay, also, I forgot to mention this earlier. This is 100% cotton, and then my thread is cotton. So I read places where you need like polyester thread to sew with sweatshirt material, but then I talked to like the quilting lady and she was like, oh no, cotton should be fine, which I prefer cotton if I can use cotton. I'm gonna iron this, cut out my pieces. I cut out my new pattern and 2 sizes up from the last one that I did, the same Cocoa Shorts pattern. Let's see if we can execute. I don't know what happened to the material when I washed it. So when I bought it, I even told you this, like seemed like this like extra magical ribbed material. Also, there's like a white streak down the middle. I don't know. Well, we're gonna stay to this side of things. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make the waistband a little bit wider than the pattern calls for, like a little bit like thicker, just because I think I will like that. And the elastic, oh, that's the other thing I picked up yesterday, the new elastic. I was going to rip it from my previous Cocoa Shorts, the yellow ones, but then I was like, no, like maybe I'll wear those someday, and I won't be able to wear them if I ripped out the elastic from it. So I decided just to like buy a new elastic, but it's actually thicker than the one I put in the yellow shorts. So to make sure that it like fits in the waistband, I'm going to make the waistband just like a little bit thicker. I think I would like the look of a thicker one anyway. Rosie is snoozing and we're going to Luke's parents tonight. So I don't have a lot of time before we leave for our retreat, our church retreat tomorrow. So here's hoping. We gotta hurry if we're gonna wear these in Muskoka. I don't have a big table anymore to cut my pattern out, so I might just use the floor. Okay, I just drank some hot tea, so my cheeks are a little flush. I cut out all my fabric, and I have like way more than half of this big pink thing of fabric left, material left. So yeah, I'm excited to like pin it up, start sewing. We're on the other side of this project and I have some things to share. I decided, I don't know if this was like a lazy move, but when I was cutting out my fabric, I just didn't cut the bottom. Like I was like, oh, it's already like the shape it should be. I'm just not gonna cut it. And that's why I have some of this, like my washing machine dryer. That's why I have some rolling situation here, which I might just like trim it again. Sewing the legs together went really well. There was some bulky parts. I should have pressed it. I like knew better in the moment, but I was like, I've already started, so I'm just gonna keep going. The other thing is like, I learned this round that you want your machine to work for you. There's a needle threader on this Singer 4423 machine. I was like, oh, this is like how you thread your needle. I had always used the needle threader, but I think it's like a little bit off from like the time I bought it, or maybe I bent it. I don't know. But it was like, I would always be like almost like sweating, like, oh, like why can't I get this? Whereas today I just was like, what if I just like stuck it through the needle, like threaded it myself without the like fancy little needle threader. And it was so easy, so much easier. I just like trimmed the thread and then I was able to just like pop it through so fast. I was like, okay. The other thing that I learned, or the other thing that I did, I don't know if I should have done this, but I totally like lifted the presser foot to go over the really thick parts of fabric where like the seams came together when I was attaching the waistband. And sometimes like it would unthread my needle or like weird things would happen, but for the most part it worked better because it kind of had a hard time going over that hump of fabric. So I felt liberated by that. I'm like, I feel like I'm like troubleshooting something and I'm making it work for me, how I need it to work for me. So I feel like there were highs and lows, or I was like, this project isn't going to work. I made terrible choices. And then it's like, this is amazing. I'm making my own clothing. It was just, but then at the end, you're like, that was totally worth it. Like the best. And I have some shorts. I mean, I'm going to learn if I really like this fabric or not. I feel like the crotch is kind of long. And then like below the crotch is really short. I don't know if I'm fully on board with the pattern, like the actual design, but I might just like make them again and then see later, but I need some time. So I'm really excited I did this pattern back to back and 2 sizes bigger, because who wants really tight sweatpants? Like that's kind of just like doesn't work. Sewing the waistband. Okay, this is where I ran into problems. So because my elastic band was so thick, when I went to attach like the waistband to the shorts, like the bottom part, there's like 3 thick fabric layers, and I was concerned that my elastic wasn't going to like thread through. It wasn't going to fit if I sewed in too much. So I sewed it like as close to the edge as I could, but it kind of came back to bite me because I didn't catch all 3 the whole way around. So I have like a couple of holes, maybe more in the back. There's like some holes where 2 of them are sewed together, but then it didn't attach to the shorts. So the short layer didn't get attached to the waistband. So I'm just going to hand sew that. And I don't think you'll notice it at all in the end product, but that's something I learned kind of through doing it that created more work for myself, because my waistband was so thick and I think I was a little ambitious with like my margins, or my lack of margins, I should say. Oh, another thing. So I don't have a serger, and the nice thing about sweatpant material is you don't have to serge it because it doesn't fray. So like I love the finish on these shorts where it's just kind of like cut raw. I thought maybe I would wanted to do it like kind of fancy, but I was in a bit of a hurry to get the project done because we're leaving today. But yeah, so I didn't serge anything. So I just like did the triple stitch, straight stitch, and it worked fine. Here are the gray sweat shorts that I wanted to show you. I've had these for years. They're actually airy, and I've really loved them. We all have those pieces where you tend to like grab the same thing over and over. This is more like if I'm kind of lounging at home, I want something comfortable, or even like going down to the beach in the morning with Rosemary. This and like a sweatshirt or like a long sleeve shirt works so well. But the thing with this is I recently sat in like, I don't know if it like dirt or sand or something, and then didn't catch it, washed them, and so they're kind of stained on the bum. And then I also noticed, I'm being kind of hyper like aware of these things, is that it's not 100% cotton. It's like 50% polyester. So I'm trying to move away from that. So I decided to replace them. Of course, they have some nice upscale details, like a fake pocket, nice pockets here. But I don't know what that's actually called, but I went with a more simple thing because that's where I'm at. I'll wear them in the wild this weekend and we'll see if I actually like the style, the fit. And I felt like I could go 2 sizes up because size the waistband to like fit you. This could go in my capsule sewing wardrobe of becoming a sewist. So overall, I'm really happy with this project. It's really fun to become a sewist. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.
Okay, do a 360. Rose.
This one?
Yeah. Go. Okay, great. Put her up.
Should I tuck in my shirt?
Yeah. Or like whatever you do. Okay, rotate. You looking for a job, Eden? Yeah. Okay, keep going.